On YouTube, 345 asks, talk about the violence in Mexico. Will it ever stop? Did you see any violence in Cancun? I'd like to answer this question, but before I do, I'd like to tell you something. In 2005, I went to Guatemala, and one of the things that I kept hearing from people was, do not go, it's really violent. People are getting murdered left and right. Now, I don't want to downplay that there was a lot of violence, or there is a lot of violence in both Mexico and Central and South America, but you should never base a life decision on fear alone. A lot of people are going to tell you horror stories, and a lot of these horror stories are not the rule, they're kind of the exception. I ended up going. Now when I got there, one of the things that I noticed right away was that I stuck out like a sore thumb. I mean, I'm taller, white, everyone was shorter and darker, and so everyone kept looking at me on the bus and stuff like that. Now to make matters worse, on the newspaper there was a story about a little girl who got kidnapped, and there were these kidnappers that were asking for a ransom. A few days later in the newspaper, the family got the ransom, gave it to the kidnappers. A few days later, the little girl was still found dead and the kidnappers took the money. Having heard a story like that would make you feel like you're in a very dangerous situation. Now, what a lot of these stories are missing is that a lot of the crime is being perpetrated against people who are involved with something. It's either crime or business or politics or something like that. Seldom does something happen to tourists. Now, is it safe? Maybe not. But like I said, you shouldn't base a decision based on fear alone. Had I made the decision not to go, I wouldn't have experienced one of the most fulfilling moments of my life, which was to climb a volcano. I went to the Mayan ruins, went to a local town where I got to eat the local food, including iguana tail and a bunch of other things, and just enjoy being with people. I connected with the Guatemalan people. They were really kind to me. I don't regret ever going to Guatemala. Was I ever in any real danger? Not that I know of. To answer your questions though, did I see any violence in Cancun? No, not at all. Like zero. And that is the case for most of Mexico. Most of Mexico is relatively safe. There are these pockets of crime, and unfortunately, I don't think it's gonna come to an end anytime soon. I think that there's ways that it can end, but it would require so much collaboration from so many things that don't currently exist, like a stable government, a non-corrupt police force. But I think the people of Mexico are just fed up, and a lot of things can happen when the people don't want to take it anymore. Do you have a question? Leave it in the comments. It might be answered in a future video. If you're enjoying these types of videos, please make sure that you hit that like button. And let me tell you why. A lot of people don't know this, but every time that you hit a like button, an angel gets its wings. And every time you hit that dislike button, Donald Trump gets a little bit closer to the presidency, so we don't want that, right?